Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade, and I'm here for another video. However, this is going to be more of an information video. Now, this probably is a crappy information video because I think by and large, most of the people who watch my videos tend to be Republican or conservative leaning or are in that demographic. Doesn't mean a Democrat might not happen across one of my videos to be educated. Why do I want to educate those on the left? Well, why wouldn't I want to educate those on the left? Anyway, that is a loaded question, I admit. But the question that it's loaded under is the fact that Democrats... I'm going to say it, low information Democrats. So there's nothing wrong with being a low information voter, right? That makes up a large percentage of the United States. A large percentage of the United States doesn't really do a lot of research before they go into voting for anybody. I mean, how many people can, with a straight face, tell me that when they go in to vote, that each and every ticket item, from senator to state congressman to this to that, that they know the policies of every person they're checking the box next to? Or are they voting for a party? 9 times out of 10, they're voting for a party. Now that can be a problem. That can be a problem when there's a lot of misconceptions. And one of the biggest misconceptions of today is that Democrats are the party for the little people, and Republicans are the party of the rich people. And that is just a flat out absurd lie. It's not accurate. And that's what this video is about. So right here, we do a simple Google search, right? And we come up with a list of the richest Americans. Now, this may not be accurate, but it's good enough for the video purposes. We see 8 Americans listed. Well, these aren't even... Elon Musk is actually from South Africa. But we see 8 influential people in America who at least live in America. We know Elon Musk lives and employs people in the United States, so yeah, close enough. Most of these people are American citizens. These are the people who pay taxes. These are the people who give money to political interest groups, etc. These are people that sway elections. Well, actually, these people, believe it or not, don't do that as much as some people farther down the list. But we'll get into that later on in the video, maybe. First off, Jeff Bezos is very careful to try to portray an image of being independent. However, he has very slightly skewed to have given more money to Democrats than he has given to Republicans. And also lately, he has had a fair amount of rhetoric towards Donald Trump, a person he's also in the past claimed to be friends with. So Jeff Bezos is a bit of an enigma, but I think by and large, if we had to... He claims to be an independent. And, you know, doing the research on him kind of makes sense. Maybe. I mean, he's done a good job not to show a bias, if he does have a bias. But lately, with some of the rhetoric, one could easily say he leads Democrat. But for the sake of being fair, we'll just call him an independent. So he he doesn't actually prove this narrative one way or the other. He doesn't prove it for Republicans, and he doesn't prove it for Democrats per se. Bill Gates, however, is the first person who hasn't been able to successfully hide his Democratic leanings. He has given far more money to Democrats than he has to Republicans. Again, he has attempted to be like Bill Gates and to hide his politics. He has been careful not to show himself as being too politically leaning in one direction or the other, but we can safely say that Bill Gates, I think I have one pulled up for him. I did have one pulled up for him, but anyway, let's move on to Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is where we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he's a Democrat. If you're wondering who Mark Zuckerberg is, I don't know why you're wondering who Mark Zuckerberg is. He's the Facebook guy. He's the guy that is part of, big tech, who's censoring conservatives all over the internet. If you have to wonder which political direction Mark Zuckerberg leans, well, really? And let's be honest, with what's been happening in the world, Mark Zuckerberg has gotten extremely more rich since the coronavirus. He is not suffering because of the coronavirus in any shape of the way. And then there's Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has straight up said that he's a Democrat and that he would be voting for Michael Bloomberg if he could, who's also a Democrat. Obviously, he ran for president as a Democrat, as did who's the other billionaire? What was his? Steyer. Steyer is another Democratic billionaire who ran for president this year. Maybe you're getting the point here. But we'll continue on, because obviously you still believe this narrative that Republicans are the party of the rich, which just isn't the case. Then we got Larry Ellison. Good old Larry Ellison is the first person on this list that actually has supported Republicans. He's supported some actually fairly decent people, like where are we here? One of my favorite politicians, and I can't think of his name. Oh, come on. Larry Ellison hosts Trump fundraiser. Has contributed to both sides. See where he's donated. He's donated to Ron Paul. Yeah, Ron Paul, that's who it is. So he's been a big contributor to Ron Paul, and he's backed Donald Trump. That's the first person on this list of 8 that has actually been a Republican. So, Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft, again, has attempted to hide his leanings. Again, has primarily voted Democrat and given money to Democrats. Elon Musk. Now, here's an interesting guy. He's come here from South Africa. He started making cars that run on batteries. Is that not a green thing to do? Certainly is, right? Then he started launching rockets into space, and rockets, well, they have a kind of a negative impact on the whole greenhouse gases. So Elon Musk is a bit of a quandary, especially seeing in 2018 was his largest year of actually giving money to politicians, and he by and large gave it almost all to Act Blue, which is Democrats. However, 2 years later, if you look at his pattern, he kept giving more and more and more and more and more and more and more to Democrats up until 2018, which was his biggest year of giving money. 2020, it's like he shut off the contributions like a valve. He's like, no more money to Democrats. And of course, we saw what happened with California with the COVID shutdown, and he moved out of California and actually moved over to Texas. Has he been red-pilled? One could say that's a good possibility. However, up until 2018, he was by and large giving his money to Democrats. Larry Page. I swear I had Larry Page up here. You guys should know him because he's the crazy purple-haired former founder of Alphabet Soup, known as Google. There's no question which way this guy's politics lie. He's a Democrat. He's part of the whole big tech conglomerate that is silencing conservative voices online. So right here, Larry Page during COVID has gotten extremely more lucratively rich. So has Mark Zuckerberg. These two guys may very well catch up, if not pass, Bill Gates. Will they pass Jeff Bezos, who is Amazon? Probably not. Jeff Bezos is doing really well, seeing as most people have to order stuff to be delivered to their home. So Amazon is just like Google and Facebook is doing extremely well in the COVID environment. But yeah, these guys are Democrats by and large, with the exception of Larry Ellison and now Elon Musk, who hasn't really given much money to Republicans. He's only ever given money to Democrats, but we can expect that will probably change in the future. But of the list, Larry Ellison is really the only guy who has staunchly supported the Republican Party of the top 8 richest Americans. And then, Michael Bloomberg, Steyer, they both actually ran for the presidency, both billionaires that are farther down this list. There is, again, this narrative that Democrats are the party of the little people, and that's just simply not true. The richest people in this country are, by and large, Democrats. Do we have to actually bring up the worst? So there's a couple of people who are there are people who really get into politics, that really push politics around. The Koch brothers are Republicans. Charles Koch and the Koch family. These are the guys that when Democrats start pointing their finger, they're like, look at the Koch brothers. They're the evil Republicans, right? Okay, fine. But the Koch brothers don't have anywhere near the the money as the guy that's all the conspiracy theories are based on. Well, they're not really conspiracy theories anymore. They're actually the truth. What is his name? Jewish billionaire that funds attorney generals in United States. What do you tell me, Google? Who is this? Tom Steyer? No. George Soros. Yes, George Soros. So, Hungarian-born American billionaire George Soros. You know the drill on this, or maybe you've heard the drill on this. Again, I'm trying to educate Democrats here, and you may believe that all the George Soros stuff is simply conspiracy theories. They're not. He actually spends crazy amount of money to put people in various different offices all across the United States. And these people are not exactly good. These are attorney generals that don't want to actually, I don't know, pursue criminal. They don't want to do their job. They don't want to prosecute criminals. They would rather let them go. They would rather let criminals get away. They would rather do away with bail. They would rather. This is bizarrety. It doesn't make sense. George Soros, however, has been actually quoted as he enjoys meddling in the order of things. He likes to create chaos. It's like he's playing a video game, right? He has enough money that he can throw it around and purposely destabilize things. And that's actually how he makes his money. He will destabilize things in order for that destabilization to benefit him financially. So he throws money in at one side to cause problems, and he throws money at a different side, at the side that's going to financially profit from the problems he's making on the one side. That's how George Soros makes his money. It's really a very evil way to make money. This guy is not right in the head. Seriously isn't. But for Democrats to still believe that the Democratic Party is the party of the little person and that Republicans are the party of the billionaires is just a bizarre thought process. That's simply not true. Hopefully this video has shed a light on this fact for you, and maybe you can at least move away from that false reality. I mean, there's so many things to be partisan about right now. You could be partisans about things that are real, but being partisans about the whole conspiracy that Republicans are the party of the rich, it's not true. So realize that and find different partisan arguments, please. Anyway, that's the point of this particular video. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. And until the next time, all, peace.